Okay, that is my first time seeing that new intro. Diego, that's awesome. That is so fun. Diego, you make me look better than I am, and you can do that anytime you want. I love it. I totally love it. I know we're getting on here a few minutes late tonight, so hopefully some people will join us and didn't think maybe we had abandoned them. Um, and on the 17th, hi Adam, hi Ali. The opening was fun, isn't it? I hadn't seen it before, so that's very fun, very cool. Hi Casey, hi Jenny. So good to see you. And Ali and Adam. So glad you're here. Hi, Jacob. Good to see you. So happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm an Irish girl. My maiden name is Kennedy, and my grandmother on my father's side was Flanagan. So yeah, I'm Irish on both sides. When I did I'd always been told I was Irish, and that's what both my mom and my dad are Irish, and their heritage is Irish. And so, when the 23andMe and Ancestry.com things were so new and fresh and exciting, and I thought, oh, I'm going to take it and see, if they were right, and thought maybe I'd discover something really interesting, some sort of mix of something I'd never been told about. And so I take the test, I get it back. It basically says, you're Irish. They're 98%. It was, yeah. So I'm Irish. So top of the evening to you. Glad you're here. And ironically, I don't have a lot of green things to wear. So I had to wear this one that's green and blue. But you can't pinch me because I do have my green on. So glad we're all together. You guys go ahead and put in your questions as we're chatting away, because I know last week there were a bunch of questions we didn't get to. And so I will be happy to go through those and get to those tonight, and hopefully get through more than we did last week. But anyway, wanted to, just start putting your questions there, and I'll keep an eye for it. William, loved your commentary on social media today. How important do you feel a personal website is for actors? William, thank you for starting off with a question and starting the ball rolling. I appreciate that. And by the way, we did get back to you. I emailed you back, and then I also saw Diego responded to get you rescheduled. So my apologies that hadn't happened before, but we will get you rescheduled. Hi, Sam and Kim. Rod, you're a quarter Irish. Okay, well, that's okay. That works for me in my book. So all good. Let's see. Jacob, you're going to listen with your mom stream. Okay, I'll know you're nearby. You're still in earshot. Okay. So the question, how important is a personal website for actors? Well, I think here's my feeling. I think it's one of the easier things for you to invest in. I say easier only because there are so many programs now, and basically website builder type templates and services that make it pretty easy for you to create a website and for you to be able to give more information about you and your journey, maybe give a more complete picture about who you are, what your special skills might be, or areas that might not come across necessarily on a resume, but like for example, I am coaching with an actress, and she happened to mention that she needed to go and feed the horses. And I was like, you have horses? And in her like photos and all of that, I had never seen a picture of her with horses, or kind of in that sort of a feel, or kind of that Western kind of feel. And I thought, man, that's something that's an area, an opportunity that we're missing. And so a website would allow you to expand on certain things. And a website, it doesn't cost you more to upload more videos or to upload more pictures. You're typically paying what is oftentimes a nominal amount for like the domain name. And so I think it just can allow you to expand more, have more, like all of your videos can be up there, and photos. You can write a blog, you can put pictures of you golfing or video and talk about your hobbies and things like that, which aren't really as appropriate on, well, obviously they're not appropriate on your resume. And if your Instagram and social media is more professional in its focus, then you're not necessarily going to put a ton of that stuff there either. You could, because again, it's just about us getting to know you and sort of understanding what makes you you. But yeah, so you say, how important is it? I think it's helpful. I think it's not a huge investment. I think dollar for dollar, it can be great so that you have it. It's an easy place that you can send people to. So I think it's a great added piece to have. Do you have to have it? No. Our primary sources are still going to be, the casting platforms, Breakdowns or Actors Access, or, faith-based casting, whatever those platforms are, plus your traditional social media. But I have found myself, like right now, I'm doing a piece where I need a singer, songwriter, actor. And so in that case, I've been going to websites a lot, because when you're a multi-hyphenate, you're someone, maybe you're a singer, a dancer, a producer, a writer, like multiple things that you do. A singular website allows you to cover all of those things, rather than having it be just about the acting, if there are other things that you do. So I do think that's, if you have multiple areas that you're working in and that you're working on, I think website is a great thing for that. So yeah, so that's my answer. You don't have to have it. I think it's nice to have, especially, but it is important if you are one, like singer, songwriter, author, actor, dancer, vocalist, stunt person. Like those are things you can include on a website so that we understand all of the areas in which you are skilled, not just as an actor, for instance. Okay, let's see. Jenny, I'm hearing a lot about branding. What are your thoughts? This is an interesting question, and I think Diego might be able to chime in on this one a little bit better. So I have a love-hate relationship with the term branding. And here's why. Branding feels very non-human. It feels very product-oriented and very commercial, consumer-oriented. And you, as humans and as actors, are more nuanced than that. So what I get concerned about is this idea of branding yourself so narrowly because you're trying to like fit a market, or I don't know, kind of put yourself on the shelf you want to be on. And so you're creating a brand and then modifying yourself to fit that brand. I think branding, to me, for an actor, is more like just focusing, giving focus to your work, giving focus to your goals, giving focus to the work that you're doing. I'll use myself as an example. So Diego has helped me. Well, let's face it, he's done the hard work, but when he came on to work with me, was willing to take me on as a client, my weakness was that I didn't have any branding. I didn't have any sort of common thread to how I communicated, or a logo, or a look and a feel that was sort of consistent, or that portrayed who I am, or like my vibe, or how I like to work, any of that. Diego helped me to bring focus to my work, to the kinds of things I want to do. He was also able to get to know me, and as a result, to help me brand myself in a way that felt authentic to who I am. So what happened was that he got to know me first. And so it wasn't, here's your brand, now let's make you adapt to the brand. It was, here's what I see you doing. Here's what I see is important to you. Here's where I see your focus. Let me help you streamline those things together, and let's create a consistent communication style in like print, across, like you talked about, across a website, to social media, to my what we do here, the lives, that there's a consistency across the board for all those things. So that's branding, but my brand doesn't change who I am. My brand is a reflection of who I am. So Jenny, what I would say is just be careful that the brand doesn't make you too one-dimensional, and that you don't begin to minimize all the aspects of who you are to fit a brand. Does that make sense? I think branding as a way of understanding who you are, and understanding like what your age range is, understanding the kinds of roles that are maybe the best fits for you, understanding the kinds of projects you want to do. Those can all be great. Excuse me. Branding visually to brand how you are presented in the public space, as far as, again, your social media, your websites, any sort of communications in that way can be great, because it becomes kind of iconic. It becomes like, oh yeah, I know that logo, or I know that name, or I know that style, in a way that reflects who you are, and your style and your vibe. That can be great. Just be careful to not get too narrow and too one-dimensional, if that makes sense. And Diego, chime in on any of this if you want to. In fact, if you want to, just chime in anytime. So Jenny, let me know if that made, okay, my idea of branding for creatives, you're not branding yourself into, wait, you got to put it back up. You're not branding yourself into a product. You're clarifying how people experience you. That's a great word, how people experience you. Branding isn't about limiting who you are. Great. It's about making it easy for casting to understand where you fit first. You are not your brand. Your brand is simply the part of you the industry can recognize quickly. Those are good words, Diego. It's almost like you do this for a living. Imagine that. That's perfect. That's a great summary. So Jenny, all the things I said, you can disregard just what Diego said. Okay, Diego, any advice on actor etiquette when you're waiting on materials? Is it appropriate to reach out and check on the status on a project you worked on and check whether it's still in post-production or has finished its festival run? Um, uh, yes, it's absolutely appropriate. I do, you've heard me say this before. I tell actors, if at all possible, get it in writing on your agreement, on your actor agreement, that um, that you will get video, digital access, video clips, some sort of version of your work from the project that you did. Get it in writing. Now, does that mean that you'll always get it? Unfortunately, no, because sometimes either the project doesn't end up getting finished, or it the people disperse and you can't find them to be able to get copies. But put it in writing so that at least you contractually have something you could go back to them, or your agent or manager could go back to them and say, hey, contractually you owe this to us, so let us know how we can accomplish this and fulfill this piece of the contract. It's a little stronger than just kind of reaching out and hoping that they'll send you materials. But absolutely staying in touch, reaching out, quick emails to say, I'd love to get these materials. Do you have a timeline, a potential timeline for when I might have access? And yeah, you did the work. If you were promised the clips, then do what you need to do to get them. You never want to be rude or forceful or any of that, but you absolutely can check back. And that they shouldn't get upset. And if they get upset, then I would say that's on them, as long as you're being respectful. And but you made a deal, and if they promised them to you, then you're owed them. So yeah. Hi, Apollonia. Okay. Valerie, I love having arts because I can put as much content. Oh, you're talking about website as I want and drive casting there when needed. It makes so I don't have to add perhaps everything to Actors Access. Yeah, Actors Access, you don't. I've told you before that when I go to Actors Access or a media page in Breakdown Services, and I literally just see like 20 different clips, that is like overkill because I don't know what to click on. I don't have time to click on 20 clips. So really, I want the best of the best up there. And so a website does allow you to be able to put more of that up on the website, so that when we want to explore and learn more about you, then we have that place to learn more, to see more, and to get to know you a little bit better, see more of your work. We have special skills and clips and reels and music, more photos. Exactly, I think. And then she put their website there if any of you guys want to look at it as a reference. Let's see. William, totally agree with your point of view on personal site. Plan on putting the link. Yeah, the link's great. And it is a quick, easy way to get an idea of someone. The other thing is that from a networking standpoint, if you have a link on a business card, or even better yet, if you are using a digital business card or have a QR code on your business card, that I literally with my phone can just look at the QR code. It'll take me to your website. That's the best. Because like when we're at a conference or at an event, it's more complicated for me to go in on my phone and try to sign into Breakdowns and pull up your Actors Access or your Breakdown. I don't typically do that. But if there's like a QR code right on your business card that I can scan, then I way more likely that I'm going to do that for a quick little oh, that was nice meeting that person. Let me take a quick glance at their website. So that's really nice, really convenient to have. Let's see. Diego says, I agree, especially for actors, but the website would make even greater sense if the actors also leveraging their social media. Securing brand deals for my clients, brands need to have a page that reveals your account analytics. Having a page dedicated to social media would be great. Yeah, they all serve a different purpose. Social media is quick little snippets, but a lot of them, right? Kind of a consistent posting every day or every couple of days, or engaging in a consistent basis with people and connecting. But they're oftentimes, most of the time, quicker interactions. And the website is a more all-encompassing kind of a platform. They serve different purposes. Yeah, brands, or if you were going to try to leverage your social media into some sort of, financial platform, it's, yeah, you can do that in social media. That's not something your website's for. So I think that it's great to be able to have it all, but I also understand how hard it is. I couldn't do all those things. In fact, I hate to say it, but my website is terribly, terribly outdated. I have projects to put up there and my logos aren't consistent, and I have all that stuff I need to fix. So I get it. It's hard, but it is helpful. We're in a visual media, and those things influence us. We're visual storytellers, and so our social media, our pages, our websites are a part of that social media visual storytelling. So let's see. Hi, Ellie Mae. Is this multi-hyphenate singer, songwriter, actress who is a possible 16-year-old and legal 18? Oh, yeah, no, older, mid-20s. Let's see. Emily. Hi, Emily. Emily, I have everything up on a website. Probably isn't a bad idea down the line, since I act, write, direct, exactly after you set up your LLC for your production company. And I get that too, Emily. You just can't focus on it all right now, but you could still have a placeholder. You could still have just a little bit up there. But yeah, it's great for a multi-hyphenate like you. You're a perfect example of that. Dawn, howdy. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Tommy, branding. I thought the question was about branding. You're so funny. Okay. Hi, Lori. Yeah, finding our gifts and strengths, using those for the Lord. Absolutely, that's the goal. Of course, that's the goal. Okay, and then Diego's statement about his brilliant statement about the creatives, about branding. Okay. Let's see, Jenny. My experience is you can't get it. No one knows who would give it to you. Can you explain that, Jenny, a little bit? Explain the context of that. I think maybe I lost track of a comment thread, but explain what that means. My experience is you can't get it. No one knows who would give it to you. Explain that a little bit if you would. Let's see. Thanks, Ellie Mae. Hi, Kim. Sam, I use a QR code that goes to my link tree, which has socials, Actors Access, IMDb, and website. That's great. That's really great. Yeah. QR codes and whatever you want to that QR code sends you to is really, really great, because it's just so common now that we want to be able to quickly, especially on phones. And like I said, me signing into my Breakdown account, looking you up, doing all of that, I'm not typically going to do that unless I'm in my office, at my computer, searching for a specific reason. Dawn, any QR code or Actors Access QR code is preferred. The QR code can go to whatever you want that's easily accessible. If you're going to do Actors Access, make sure it's actually accessible. I've had a few where I'm sent a link, but it sends me to the main Actors Access like sign-in page, not the actual actor page. So just make sure it's right and make sure it sends the person to what you want them to go to. But it's kind of ideal to send them to a website at that point, because then they could see everything that they wanted in one place. Jacob, one of the websites have all my links connected in a super straightforward format. Own custom domain. Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, Christopher, you invested in a dot card. So did I. That's what I use, is a dot card. Those of you who've known me for a long time, Adam Thayer might be one of these. I am famous for always either running out of business cards or forgetting them completely when I'm at a conference and someone's asking me for my business card. And so I went to the dot card, and the dot card is, I have a single dot card. And when someone wants my card, I just show it to them. They take a camera of the QR code and my contact information comes up. So it's nice because I just have the one. I don't have to carry cards with me all the time. I keep it in my wallet all the time. So I typically always have it. And so, yeah, you can just look that up, research that, see if that might be something helpful or workable for you. And it's called Dot Card, D-O-T, the Dot Card. Probably if you Google that, it'll bring you up to the website. Let's see. Hello, Brooklyn. Hello, friend. Yeah, good, Betty. QR code is going to be super helpful. And nowadays it's pretty standard. So I think it's great to do. Let's see. Okay, Rod, there was a comment last week about us in Canada being able to get in faith-based films. I don't remember who asked it. There's a faith-based page, Canadian Christian Casting. I believe Laura May mentioned it as well. Wish there was more here, though. Yeah, so the challenge with that is that being from Canada, Canada's not so bad, but we still have to deal with work visas and work rules for us working in Canada and you Canadians working in the US. And so oftentimes it's just viewed as easier to just cast domestically. Faith-based films typically don't have the resources. A lot of faith-based films, not all of them, but as you know, the budgets on a lot of faith-based family films are more modest than maybe some of the secular counterparts. And so budgets are tight. And so doing things like paying for visas and hiring immigration attorneys or paying for certain permits or documents that are needed in order to work internationally is not something that a lot of productions have, nor do they have the personnel who can oversee that and take care of that. So that's one of the reasons that it is difficult. I get a lot of that same comment from people in the UK who really, really, really want to be involved in more faith-oriented content. There's not a lot over there, but they don't have visas to work here. So it's, even if someone saw them and was willing to fly them over, or if they were willing to fly themselves and work as a local hire. The challenge is you have governmental visa things you have to deal with and overcome for that. So yeah, just one of those things that we have to deal with. Venus, created my own link tree on my website to keep it easy to update and stay on brand. That's great. So personalpowerhouse.com/Venus. If you guys want to check out her website. Venus, thank you for that. Hi, DeAndre. What's up? Let's see. Yeah, Linktree. A lot of you, I see a lot of people using Linktree, and it is great. It's very convenient. Let's see. Haven't seen it, but I think it's fabulous. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Christopher? I haven't seen a lot of people who are familiar with it either, but I've really enjoyed it and it works well for me. So, let's see. So it looks like a lot of you guys are using Linktree and QR codes. Linktree is great. Again, if you have a paper business card with a website on it, that's fine. But I can't click on your paper I can't click on your paper business card and immediately go to your website. So I think you're missing an opportunity if you don't have a QR code if you're going to use a paper business card. I think you're missing an opportunity if you don't have a QR code. So that someone, if they in that moment are motivated to go to your website right then and there, then give them an opportunity, a way to do that, because you never know when that motivation is going to be there again. I could be at a conference and I'm waiting for a meeting and I have a card of someone I just met. And so I go ahead and scan it and I look at it because I have a few minutes to kill before my meeting. You just never know. So it's what we talk about all the time. Make it easy for us to find you and to get to know you and to, want to take next steps with you. Let's see. See a lot of comments. Let's see. Kim, are you asking me what my web address is? I hate to even give you my website because it is so behind. It's not current. But mine is bhcasting.com. It's just bhcasting.com. But it's not current. So I need to fix that. I need to walk the talk. I'll get on that. I really will. Let's see. Betty, for the people needing to link their Actors Access profile, look for Actors Access custom link. It should be on the left-hand side when you go to your profile under About Me dropdown. So for those of you who want to make sure that you're using a link that the average person could just access freely, that will help you. Thanks, Betty. Brooklyn, that's your information. Okay, Sam, when an actor gets new headshots, is it okay to reach out to casting directors they have worked with before to let them know, or is it better just to let your agent submit you with those headshots? Asking for a friend. I don't know that you need to reach out to casting directors with new headshots unless they're a friend or you have a particularly close relationship with them. Reaching out with updates, like if you have a new agency or you just did a project and you have new headshots, then maybe do that. You could post your new headshots on your socials like Facebook or Instagram. Those, if people are subscribed to you, it'll come up on their feed. But otherwise, I would just let your agent submit with the new headshots. You can imagine the thousands of actors that we're connected to, and it just would be way too overwhelming if everyone sent their new headshots every time they got them. So I have in my coaching, I do go over headshots, and I've had some of the coaching clients who they're getting new headshots, and then I go through with them and kind of identify what I feel like, at least from my perspective, are some of the strongest ones and the ones that I think are maybe the better shots for them to use. But that's a part of kind of our one-on-one coaching. So that's different than you just reaching out to casting directors you've worked with. We just have so many actors and so much information that we're working with all the time that I would hold off on that. Unless, like I said, there are people who you become friends with, and it's a little different, and you can just do a quick, hey, just wanted to let you know. But otherwise, let it just be something they discover when they're see you in a submission. So yeah, and put it on your socials, put it on your website. Let's see. Hi, Julio. How are you? Julio's, I think you've been playing hockey, right? I've become a dual citizen, USA and Spain, and I also hold a European Union passport. What do you think is the best way to share this information when applying to international projects? So do you have an international agent? Do you have an agent in Europe? Because I would advise you to do that. I would advise you to get an agent who covers Europe and make sure they have that information and they can represent you there over in Europe, since you can work in Spain and in the US. And because you're a citizen of Spain, that may make it easier for you to get a visa in some of the other European countries, for sure. So yeah, I would focus on, if you don't already, focus on maybe getting a European agent who can do that for you. But as far as sharing that information, you should absolutely have that on your Actors Access, your breakdown, your agent's breakdown services page. You should have that on your business cards, or have that on your website, your social media, make that known, because that does make you unique in that respect. Let's see. Is it Chana? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Let's see. I connected with Diego through Kelly Masters. Awesome. We have daughters that are wanting to get into the industry space. Okay. Starting not really knowing what we're doing, but being prayerful. That's good. Just take it slow. You can just take it a step at a time. There are a couple of books that friends have written. One in particular, Sarah Lejeune. Let's see if I have a copy of it. I used to have a copy on my desk, but I don't at the moment. But Sarah Lejeune, L-E capital J-E-U-N-E, I think. Sarah's the first name. If any of you guys know the correct spelling of her name, maybe put it in the comments. But she wrote a book about starting out, about just starting out with the basics. I know Sherry Rigby also, with Women in My World, has started, I think has some materials on, again, the basics of just starting out. So there are some places where you can get some resources for starting out. And both of those are coming from people who are people of faith. And so that's a part of who they are and a part of the choices they make for their work. I'm guessing Venus might even have some more, Venus Monique, who's on here, might even have some resources that she could point you to as far as learning just the basics from the beginning. So if any of you guys have thoughts or info to share with Chana, I want to get it right. So maybe write in the comments how to phonetically how to pronounce your name, because I want to respect you and say it right. Let's see. Work on the website. We'll work on your website next, Bev. Thanks, Diego. Love you. Christopher is in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville. I could sure use some help with my website too. Yeah. Hey, if any of you guys are website gurus and know how to do that, and maybe have a business doing that can be helpful, put your information here and maybe can create some connections here, people helping each other, getting their websites and everything up to speed. Okay, Diego, answering as a manager and agent perspective that you'd want to work with. Please don't DM us your new headshots with no context or no relationship. Although not your intent, it can come across as spam. It's true. It is true. And if it's too much, it becomes a little bit like white noise. So wait to pull together an update of, hey, I booked this role, or I'm going to be shooting this, or here's my most recent reel. I added some new work. And by the way, I got new headshots. You can kind of do that. But yeah, just be careful about how you use those relationships. Let's see. William, Beverly's recent feedback from my consultation totally motivated me to take new headshots, showing more sides of your character roles. Your new headshots are outstanding, William. They're really great. You absolutely took what we talked about and ran with it. They're really good. Oh, Jenny, I'm glad. I got to coach with Jenny as well, and we had a great session. So that's wonderful. Let's see. It's Shayna. Shayna. Okay, Shayna. Now I can say it correctly. Shayna, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found us. I'm glad you're here, Shayna. I will do my best to remember that. Yeah, you can go on Instagram, I believe. And Diego, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our past streams live on Instagram or live on YouTube. I think they live on YouTube from all the way as long as we've been doing them. And there's a lot of information in there. And in those replays, remember, you can kind of skip around to hear what we're talking about and find the topics that seem interesting or applicable to you. And hopefully a lot of good information there for you. So Shayna, it's a beautiful name. Let's see. You've probably dealt with that your whole life, right? Just because it's a slightly unconventional spelling. So, well, thank you for clarifying for me. There you go. Emily is also recommending to you, Shayna, to join Venus Monique's page, Christian Actress Community. So great group of faith-filled women who are in the industry and pursuing acting at all different levels. Let's see. There's 1,000 ways to pronounce Louisville. Well, there you go. Let's see. Valerie. So Shayna, Valerie Kite is another good one for you to know. And you might, earlier in the comments, she mentioned their family website. Valerie, you might, if you could go ahead and put in the comments your family website again. Valerie has 6 kids in the industry. So Shayna, she could potentially be very helpful to you because she has kids in a wide range of ages. And so she might be very helpful and insightful as far as where you could find resources. So um, let's see. I, I love that, Rod. Where are you going to find the time, Diego, with 500 actor submissions in 24 hours you had? So yeah, Diego's he's an agent now, SAG franchised agent, and everything's gearing up and opening up for potential representation. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's awesome, though. I love it. Madison Davis. So, love Sarah Lejeune. So, Shayna, that's how you spell Sarah's name correctly. Look at Madison Davis's comment at 723, Sarah Lejeune. Yeah, she has a great book. Let's see. Holy Spirit discernment. I love it. That's the only way to do it, right? Shayna, I have 5 kids, so I think we'll relate. Good. 10 months up to 15 years. Okay, Shayna and Valerie, I think you're going to become friends. And Valerie, I appreciate your willingness to let her reach out to you and your willingness to share what you've learned, the experience that you've learned. That's very kind and generous of you. And again, that's another thing I love about our group here on Tuesday nights, and just not even just our group, our Let's Talk Tuesday family, but I've seen you guys at other events and in other groups, and you just have such wonderful, sweet servant hearts for each other. And rather than I'm going to hold everything close to the vest because I don't want competition, it's, hey, let me share with you what I've learned, with that understanding that God's got for you what he has for you. And he's got for the other person what he has for them. And that ultimately he is the one in control of it all. So thank you for having such servant hearts and for being so kind and generous in all of the comments here. Valerie Kites, 6 kids, 6 years to 18. So yeah, a lot you guys can relate to for sure. So I'm going to just take a couple minutes to talk a little bit more. Well, 2 things. One, I want to let you know that I am going to be, after a couple years break, I'm going to be at International Christian Film Festival, ICFF, in April. So it is, I'm going to get you the right dates, April 28th through May 2nd, and it's in Orlando, Florida. You can go to internationalcff.org for that information. I'm going to be doing a workshop. I haven't been to ICFF for a couple of years just because the timing didn't work out, but I'm excited to be back. Marty has a great lineup of people that I'm excited to hear from and see. And so, yeah, I'll be there. Let's see. ICFF, Evelyn was nominated for Best Lead Actress for that one. Good. Valerie, that's awesome. Jenny, you went to ICFF last year. Yeah, it's always a good group, a large group for sure, because they also include music as well. So there'll be more information coming out as to what my specific workshop is going to be. And then I'll also be on a kind of women in the industry panel as well. So we have a code LTT10 for a discount. So if you're going to ICFF April 28th through May 2nd in Orlando, Florida, you can use my code LTT, Let's Talk Tuesday, LTT10 for a discount. And I would love to see you there. Love to see everyone there, maybe try to, have a little mini gathering for sure. So yeah, in the weeks to come, we'll have to identify who's going so that we can keep an eye out for each other. But I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to go. And if you want to join us, it really is. Cindy Bond is going to be there. I think maybe Rich Peluso. There's a good, really good, strong lineup of people. And so it's going to be a great event. So LTT10 for a discount if you are going to be going to ICFF and you haven't yet registered, or if you were on the fence and you weren't sure if you were going to go, let me give you a little nudge over the fence into the side of going with this discount code. So I'm excited to go, and I'll look forward to seeing you there. The second thing that I'm going to mention is what I kind of hinted at last week, which is I did talk with Diego a little more about doing a self-tape challenge amongst our Let's Talk Tuesday group. There's some logistics to work out, and so that's why I have not given you the full information yet, but we are going to do once every couple of months or so a self-tape challenge in which I'll give you a bit of direction about what we're looking for, or the kinds of scenes, or maybe a theme. And you'll have an opportunity to self-tape on your own. We'll give you a deadline and an email address in which to turn in your tapes. And then two things, we'll post them on a YouTube page so that they can live there and everyone can kind of get to know each other and see each other's work. But then also I'll be doing some compilation highlights and going over them to talk about, what works in monologues. And it doesn't even just have to be monologues. It can be a scene where you use a reader, but we'll talk about what's effective and what, maybe you might want to focus on. And so I'll just pick a few to highlight that each cycle. And so yeah, I'll give you more information once we have the logistics. I just need to set up that YouTube page and set up a separate email address for getting that in place. But that is what we want to do. I want to give you guys motivation to be doing your self-tapes, to be pushing yourself, to be always acting, always working, always growing. And so I just look at the challenge to give you a reason to do that self-tape or that scene or that monologue that you've been wanting to do or meaning to do for a while. And so just want to give you that little push. So yeah, I'll tell you more about that. And for now, I think that's it. I think we covered most of the questions that got asked. And hi, Thomas. So good to see you. So yeah, I think we kind of covered everything. Those of you who maybe came in late, you'll be able to watch the replay as well as any other previous weeks that we've done that might be of interest to you. Oh, Diego says, I'm bringing back the intro again. I love it. It's our new intro. Diego, you're awesome. Just love you. You're awesome. So I think you guys are awesome. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I look forward to seeing you next week, next Tuesday. Keep thinking of those questions, bring them with you next week. And hopefully I'll be able to give you more information about the self-tape challenge. And in the meantime, don't stop taking those steps, one step in front of the other. Just make sure whatever you do, it can be small, it can be tiny, but if it's a step forward, then that's a victory. So pat yourself on the back and enjoy those victories and just take it a day at a time. Encourage. You guys are awesome about encouraging and serving. And so I just love you. You're great. And I will see you next week. Bye.